everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. I'm super glad that you're here today. We are going to be talking about the My Mini Dream palette from Natasha Denona. We're also going to be bringing in her cheek palette and her Big My Dream palette and the Natasha lipstick and the Natasha gloss. All of these products are going to be discussed today. We're going to try things. We're going to hold things up. We're going to see what goes with what. And if you wanted to get this really easy look that took basically not a lot of effort, keep watching and I will share that with you. I'm really happy to see you today. I would love for you to follow me on Instagram. I'm also on Threads. I am not on TikTok. I'm not a TikTok kind of a person. I don't know. I can't. I always feel like it's like just too much at once. And I like to have the dialogue going back and forth. This is just, I'm good with YouTube. And I love Natasha. The Natasha palettes were what really drew me into like what makeup has become, and that there's like a whole online community of makeup people. I feel like she was the reason why I got so into it, because I was so into her. I mean, I've always been into makeup, always, as long as I can remember. I can remember reading magazines. I can remember so much. But when I got her palettes for the first time, it was like, I mean, there was nothing like that in the stores. You could get maybe a quad or maybe 5 or 6 of them, you know, like in a strip at the drugstore. There weren't, and this isn't even her biggest. I mean, this is the midi size, and this is still so much bigger than things that we were used to. And I can't wait to share this with you. I was really excited when I saw this because it just is kind of like one of those looks I feel like that it takes no thinking. And I love that. I love a look that just comes together like this one did. And I want to share this with you. I am excited that you guys are here. I would love for you to hit the subscribe button, ring the bell so that you know when I upload. I'm going to be uploading 2 to 3 videos a week, maybe a few more things on Instagram. I do like to post when there's a new video, and I can do things like swatching over there and show you some other parts of my life. Yeah, I'm just happy that you're here today. So let's start. We're going to be taking a look at the collection of the My Dream palette from Natasha Denona. This is a palette that I've had for a while, and honestly, it's like one of my favorite color stories that she's done, and I don't feel like I've gotten enough use out of it. I don't know if it was during a time when a whole bunch of stuff was coming out, but this color story speaks to me. I love these tones together, these kind of like taupey and kind of mauve-y tones. I love those against my skin. I really do. And she had also come out with the My Dream Cheek Trio. This was kind of a miss for me. This says it's supposed to be a cream blush. I don't know if mine dried up or what happened, but it's a powder blush and I'm not really that fond of the color. This is a much blingier, kind of thicker highlighter than I really enjoy wearing now, and it's just it's too much for me. It's beautiful, you know, to look at with the palette that she originally came out with. I mean, these are definitely the Natasha tones. She put out her special color of lipstick that is her Natasha shade. And this, I'll show you next to the lip gloss and the lipstick. are right here. But look at this color blush, because this to me pulls very warm and kind of almost peachy looking next to those. And I know, you know, her colors tend to be so spot on for me, and for this blush to be a miss, I'm really okay with it. This just is not my thing. I do have the color Fume, and this is from Phytosurgence, and I think this is more of what I'm kind of thinking of when I am thinking about this palette. And then even to take it one step further, Condensate is the other color that I really love, and I'm going to show you how cool toned this is and makes everything else look extremely pink. So this is Condensate, and then next to it we have the Fume color, and then we have the Natasha Blush from the trio, and this is the gloss and the lipstick. I definitely think I can pull those off. They're a little bit still warmer than I love, but I do like these tones. I think that they're really pretty. The blush, I will show you the highlighter and there's a cream and a powder in here. And I will put these up here. You know, it's just, I don't know where I am with highlighters these days. I love the look of illuminated skin, but I don't love the look of, oh, you're wearing highlighter. So I think it's a matter of taste. Maybe it's a matter of application. I am a little bit, I mean, I've read like 3 times now that this is supposed to be a cream blush. So I don't know really what happened to mine. This didn't get released that long ago. Let's take a look and see what the launch date was. Oh, wow. Okay. It was the fall of 22. That just doesn't seem right to me. So I guess that's why this is looking the way that it's looking. It's been quite a while. But these tones are beautiful, and for some reason, I just haven't been reaching for that palette. Let me get this off my hand. I don't know why. I have a feeling that it was during a time when we were still voraciously buying eyeshadow palettes. And this one I've used so much, and I kind of thought, like, you know, when you look at these together, they're very different, but at the same time, I kind of almost was thinking of them in the same way, but this is a lot softer, just the kind of colors together. And this really will like pack a little punch I think this is like more of like a fall wintry kind of thing for me, but totally beautiful. So I was excited to see that she launched the Mini Dream. I love traveling with these, and this is a cool toned delight. I mean, first of all, I love how she kept the packaging really cute with her splotches of paint, the way that she did on all of the pieces from this collection, down to the Natasha lipstick and even the cap of the Natasha lip gloss. So that's like a lot of fun. She kept her favorite color from the original My Dream palette, which is called Nurture, and that is this color. It's a nice, deep, really beautiful, kind of almost a little bit warmer than the rest of the palette, taupe. And then she chose 4 other shades that are brand new. So I'm going to swatch these for you. We have the color Devotion, and it is just one of those really fun metallic-y shades. And she's got so many new formulas now that feel so much thinner than they used to, and not in a bad way, and not that I ever felt like they were thick, but these are really streamlined. And look at those two together. I mean, just really pretty. The second one is called Balance, and this is a creamy matte. Love that as a transition shade for lighter skin tones. It's got a little warmth to it though. These are cool, but they're not cold, if that makes sense. Then we have the middle shade here is Passionate. This is another metallic shade. Love, love these tones together. Go above here. And then there's one last deep creamy matte called Loyalty. That really feels buttery and smooth. Oh, and it's nice and cool. This will really cool down any look. And I love being able to use a brown that's super dark like that and chocolatey, as opposed to always, you know, like going for black to be the dark color. And you know, I was looking at these and they look much cooler in here than on me. And I don't know if that's because I'm so cool toned. Initially, when I had looked at this, it seemed to like kind of stray a little bit from the original, but swatched, I can see where these colors were. Show you a few of my favorites. She does have her blackest black in here. Let's just swatch a few of the matte shades. We've got Carpe Diem, and that's a pretty warm tone compared to the other one. We have another matte called Unity, really leaning more on the peachy side than what I had remembered. And then she has this Nurture, and that's the one that we carried over. I'm just going to put it over here just to give you a frame of reference here. And let's watch a couple of the metallics from here. She's got one called Babies that I think is just gorgeous. It's like a mix of a taupe and a copper, and it's got a little fire to it. Really a cool color. Not cool toned, cool looking. We've got one over here called Serenity. This makes me think of Serenity Now. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're too young for this channel. That is really pretty. And not, I mean, when you look at these together, they definitely, you know, they make sense. This is the color Risk. And you can see this has like a lot of that fiery warmth also. It's got this very funky trio chrome almost. It's got green and gold and mauve. These are not necessarily my thing, but it is really pretty. I mean, I love adding a little green somehow. Instinct. She's got like that, it's like the warmer side of magenta. So there is a warmth to My Dream, and this is definitely what I thought was cooler, and I can see where it's cooler than this, but it made me think about this palette also. I felt like this could be an extension of the I Need a Nude, just, it looks like it's part of this palette. Whereas with this, I would say this is like a true shade extension. This is like, if there was another row, what would she have included? And I guess, you know, looking at this, I always look at these cooler tones and I think that's a pretty cool tone palette. It's a pretty warm palette. And this was rosy. So it's interesting. This is my everyday. To me, this grabs me right where I live. I love the idea of being able to, you know, wear like this kind of a metallic with. I like the idea of these very almost thinner, sheer kind of champagne-y but warm tones. Wow, I need to get some use out of that other palette. Clean myself off here. I'm already covered in makeup and we've been here for like 5 minutes. How's everybody doing? This holiday break has gone fast and yet not fast, but I have a week left and my son will be going back to school in less than a week. We're supposed to be, today it started with rain and then we got like the snain, I like to call it. And then now it's kind of snowing, but it's dark and gloomy and freezing. But I am still enjoying this Merit Great Skin. I used it today with a different foundation. I used it with my Clé de Peau Radiant Dewy foundation. I have little golden retriever hairs everywhere because he was just over here and I was snuggling with him. This seems to be a really good makeup prep for me. So I'm trying it with a bunch of different bases and definitely liked it. I used the Natasha Denona concealer today in R2. I also have N2, and I actually enjoy doing a whole complexion with this often when I want a little bit more coverage. I can also make my own tinted moisturizer. I think her concealer formula is one of the best right now. It's hydrating without being too slidey. I feel like if she has so many different colors, you would probably have to struggle to not be able to find some tones that work for you. I thought it was so interesting that I chose a neutral and a red, and the red 2 seems so much darker than the N2. I did use the R2 today just to kind of warm things up a little bit. Play and see what this is like in real life. So I'm going to start out with this color Balance, and I'm gonna go up into my brow bone here. I'm using a Wayne Goss 05 brush. It's got a nice point on it, and it's also very fluffy, so I can really bring it out. To me, this is one of those kind of palettes that I would love to use like before I go to work. You could put together a quick daytime look here. I love that as a crease shade. It seems like a shadow. And I'm just looking straight into the mirror right now, and I'm going right here where my lid is coming out, and I try to like even this out. I sleep more on this side. I think because the TV's on that side, which is terrible, but I don't know. I like to sleep on my side. I've tried so hard to sleep on my back and I just can't do it. Cannot do it. So that is really pretty as just a wash that will make a very nice transition shade for me. And I think those with deeper skin tones can probably start here, but you guys would be the experts on that, not me. I am about as pale as they come, and I am not a makeup artist, so I don't know of these things. I'm going to take a little bit of her favorite shade, which is Nurture, and I'm taking this on a BK A501, and I'm just going to start to build out my up and out shape with this lighter color that's not the deepest shade, but it's definitely deeper than, or warmer even than what I already put on. It's funny, I thought this was such a cool tone palette, and yes, it's going on cooler, but when I don't know, like I'm so confused now after looking at all those things and trying to decide. But I guess we don't have to decide right now. We can see what happens. I'm going to go back into this really creamy one up here and just give a little bit more against that brow bone. And I like that. I like that a lot. I think that's really pretty. Okay, I am going to take one of my Scott Barnes fan brushes and I'm going to go into this deeper brown shade called Loyalty. And I'm going to take that on this fan brush across here and up. Now this is truly cool toned. Like this is almost like dark coffee, like, you know, the kind that you really need to wake up. Let's see if I can get you a little closer. Okay. I love these fan brushes because you can really sweep with them out to here. I should really take a look and see what's going on that website. I've heard conflicting things of, yes, he's rebuilding everything. No, he's not. He's got a website again. He's going to be putting some things up. No, he's not. He's done. I have no idea. But if you can get these brushes still, I do think that this one is worth picking. So I'm basically just giving myself a nice little eye lift. And I've been religiously using my halo. So I do feel like I'm a little bit more lifted, even though it's been several hours since I zipped. I have to do it like way before I do any of my skincare because you can't have any oils on your skin, and I'm the queen of putting oils on my skin and all kinds of things. Okay, I mean, this was pretty darn easy to build that frame out that I really like. And we have two of these beautiful metallics to choose from. One of them is decidedly more champagne-y, and the other one is a little bit warmer. So I'm going to go into the warmer one first, Devotion, and then I will go into Passionate second. And I want to see what it's like with the brush, but I will probably wind up having to use my fingers, which is fine. I am going to use my Singe Beauty E01 and go into, I already said, Devotion. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to try to cover pretty much my mobile lid. Kind of blend it in over here. I'm going to wait and do the inner with the other color because it seems lighter on my skin than this one. I am not feeling like these are daytime inappropriate. I'm seeing some shine, but honestly, like if I wanted to pack more punch here, I'd probably have to use a finger. So let's try that. I'm going to sort of blend over here. And I find that after I put the matte on over here, when I put like a sort of like a metallic-y color or something with a little bit of shimmer to it, that it's sort of like my smoke and mirrors, like hiding my uneven lids. And it just, I don't know, it kind of works for me to blend those together. And let's just stay with fingers here. I'm going to go right into the center of my eye here, all the way down at the lash line, and build it up into the center here. And you can wet these if you are looking to pack more punch. I take this all the way up to my crease because when I'm opening and closing my eye, I want to have that same color shadow that it keeps hitting so that it's not going to get muddy with another color as it folds back onto itself. Boy, this is not blingy at all. I mean, I definitely see the beautiful shimmer, but I could go, I know this is crazy because I just started saying I'm not that into highlights, da da da. I feel like we could probably wet one of these. I am going to go into just my inner corner here, lighten things up a little bit. And I can even take this on my brow bone up here. And then I like to just kind of soft brush. This is perfect. This is the Singe Beauty E03. I'm going to go back into that original shade that I used in the crease. Just blend everything together and make this look a lot more seamless, and like I spent more time on it than just the fast eye that I can put in, you know, put on myself in 2 seconds flat. And now I'm just going to blend with a clean brush. Bring this out. And I'm going to go into my lower lash line with Sonia G detail brush, and I'm going to go into that original lighter color and go underneath the whole under eye. And I'm just sweeping that underneath. I'm going to take the second, her favorite color, and I'm going to focus it more on the outside part over here of my eye, about 3/4 of the way. And pull that out just so I've got good definition going in on both sides. And now I'm going to rely on my finger to just tap into this brown color and really deepen up that outer part of my eye. When I have a nice dark color out here, it makes your eyelashes look super long, and I do love that. And honestly, fingers, I've just been very into like finger painting lately. I think I'm going to go back into this shade again, which is her favorite shade, Devotion. This was a very easy to use, no BS palette that I think is really a nice choice for people on a daily basis. Let me get a chocolate brown liner and we'll finish up our eye look, put some blush on, and talk some more. I'm going to curl my lashes before I do my eyeliner. And I like this curler a lot right now. It's the Repper. I like this one and I like the Surratt. And I really like to kind of go more this way and then do this side. I just feel like it right now I'm growing my lashes back because I took a brief vacation from my grande lash because I had read some things that made me feel like I needed to try something else. And honestly, my lashes really suffered, and I am back strong again with this one. So, okay, I am going to take a little bit more of this center highlight, Passionate, and just really try to bump up the fun on that one. I mean, I don't think that you can make this look not work appropriate. These colors blend together beautifully. I think this makes a very pretty eye. It's cool, but it's not too cool. We're going to use a really nice, voluminous mascara. This is the Vast Lash, and it has quickly become my favorite. I'm going to show you the difference here. I'm going to do my mascara first before the liner on this one. And I want you to see the way that it builds differently if you do your tight lining beforehand. Really wiggle down at the bottom so that you've got a thicker looking lash. And I definitely like this part to go out. You have some wiggle room, some time to, you know, get the mascara on, but this is not one that you can really layer up, I haven't found, when it's already dry. So you sort of have to come and make peace with it when you're there, when it's still wet. And I like using this to kind of push them up a little. So this one has no eyeliner in my waterline. I'm going to let that dry for a minute. I'm going to go in with, boy, I don't like this eyeliner at all. This is the Cocoa color from Victoria Beckham. I don't think there's a better eyeliner out there than this. This one is my absolute favorite. So I'm going to go in and I am going to tight line in between the lashes and bring it out a little bit over here also. I want it to be thicker where I want my lashes to go out. So I'm going to go in a little bit harder over here without, you know, making a wing. And thinner over here. And you can already see that my lashes look more dense, like I have more of them together. So let me put some mascara on this side so I can show you what the difference is, and then I will fix this guy and make them match. When you go in and you've already got a really nice base of mascara, it is so easy to build. Let me grab a mirror over here. To really push up through that liner, and then you really don't have to do as much crazy wiggling down at the bottom. I think you get where you're going a lot faster. This is starting to dry. I might get one more dip in here. I'll go through and just kind of pull some of these apart. But we're pretty much there. And if you look at this eye versus this eye, do you have a favorite? I kind of see both, but watch what happens. And I just go in here, and I don't know about you guys, but my waterline is big. And if I don't do this, it looks like my lash is not as dense, not as thick, not as voluminous. I have been using this Victoria Beckham eye brightener, and I like it because it's not too white. Sometimes I think these are too light, and it looks like the 1980s when we used to put, you know, white eyeliner on down here. All this does for me now is just sort of brightens and makes my eyes look more open. Super easy eye look. I definitely think this is a daytime kind of a palette. Let's put some blush on. Since we've already talked about the fact that I'm not going to use the cream blush that's no longer cream. Let's use a little of these two favorites of mine from Phytosurgeons. This is Fume, and this is the one that was the closest in color. And I do like this blush because I feel like it matches everything. If you don't know what blush color to do, this is what I grab. These are $15 US, guys. For the price of a lot of blushes that are out there, you can have a whole blush wardrobe from Phytosurgeons. And I absolutely 100% love this brand as much as I love Natasha. I mean, she is just one really special lady. She got me so into eyeshadows. I'm going to put a little of this deeper color just up here a little bit. And I don't want to contour, but I want some definition. I want to go in with Pearl. This is Victoria Beckham Beauty also. And I'm literally just going on top of my cheekbone here, making sure I don't have 18 colors of eyeshadow. This is the kind of highlight that I like. It's barely there, but it is there. I mean, when I turn my head, I want to be able to see that my skin looks, you know, a little younger. I've never been one of those people that likes to do the tip of my nose. I don't get it. I look like Rudolph, but with a white nose. So I think that all of these together are just working so well. Okay, I found my Natasha lip pencil, and I just sharpened it. And it is definitely... It looks peachy on me. But I like the fact that it's a nude, and this thing is so budge proof. Like when I smudge this on, it's there. I mean, it is on. I am going to take her lipstick in the shade Natasha, which I actually really do like. My favorite color, though, is the Amorosa one from that Love palette. And she's got a gloss, too, so we can kind of zhuzh it up with a little hydration in the middle. I mean, honestly, if I was teaching in the classroom still, if I was going to the office, if I had some kind of a job where I was like leaving the house, this is such a fast and just, I think, a look that most people can wear. The blush that I picked is pretty much that color. I'm going to try a teeny little bit of her warmed up creamy highlighter, and that is actually really pretty. I've been reading that blush is going to be like here this summer. I'm not down with that. My cheeks, if I really did that, they're like down here. I mean, I would need so much filler that would just wind up like falling down anyway. I would much rather put my blush up higher and have it not go past that center of my eye. I always say, like, there's no way I'm going past that. I love the fact that this is neutral but fresh. I feel like you could wear this at any time of the year. And then what you could do if you got home from work and you just wanted to, you know, jazz things up, you can go into the My Dream and you can add all kinds of deep tones and other kinds of shimmers and duochromes. It's really a versatile palette. And I also think it goes very, very beautifully with the I Need a Nude. I mean, I look at this and I could definitely go here. without question. In fact, I'm going to take a teeny little bit of Delilah and just see if we can get a little more brightness. Just for fun. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely amp this look up with either the big My Dream palette or, you know, any of your other eyeshadow palettes that you have. I think it's a really pretty look. I think it's easy to wear. I think it suits a lot of people. My arthritis is just to go anywhere I've got little bits that I want to get rid of. Make sure my brows are standing up for somebody today. I also read that thin eyebrows. Warn all of the younger people that you know that once you go to that really thin brow, sometimes it's hard to come back from it. I just like a more natural looking brow, I think, than a lot of the chiseled brow looks that we've had over the past few years. I think this is a fabulous palette. I will definitely be bringing this one on vacations with me. It just hits everything that I need for, you know, just a very pretty daytime kind of an eye. And you can smoke this out with some brown liner if you wanted to. This is the Surratt pencil. And if you take a teeny little bit of this right behind your lashes, and then this side of it unscrews, and it's a smudger with a little bit of brown shadow. Instead of making a wing, since my eyes are aging at different rates, and getting things to lay straight is definitely more challenging. You know, people pull their eyes out and then they go back to where they are, and it's like all uneven. So I'm okay. I've come to a place of peace where it comes to wearing winged liner. I like to have that shape, and I like to have that color behind my lashes because I don't enjoy fake lashes. I guess if somebody was doing my makeup and I wanted to have something that was like a little bit more dramatic, I could probably put in like little individual ones, but I'm not like a strip lash person or anything like that. I'm not going anywhere that fantastic. So this is it. It was a quickie today, and I think it's a really pretty look. I think that this palette you can throw in your bag and do any kind of quick eye look. You could take this to the gym. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're going out for drinks or to the office. I feel like it's really just a very easy to wear palette. And sometimes that's the best kind. You don't have to think. Sometimes in the morning I'm just like, you know, I go to my go-tos because it's so much easier. I am going to put a little finishing powder on. I'm not feeling the bronzer need today, but I do want to put on just a little bit of finishing powder. I'm going to take my big fluffy brush from Sydney Grace and go into my Chantecaille Perfect Radiant Glow Blur Powder from the holidays. I'm just gonna kind of finish up my skin. Just give myself a little zhuzh. Just to finish the skin and look a little bit more perfected. And I did not set my under eye because I wanted to see with her concealer how this was going to do. And I think it's done very well. I just want to make sure we're fully blended here before I go underneath with the Givenchy Prism Libre in the pink rose color. It just adds enough luminosity to make me look less tired. And I'm all for looking less tired. So that's it. That's all I've got for you today. I like this look. I would like it with a different lip too. Should we just do one? Let's do one. I'm using one of her old pencils that she has this color called Storm now. And it's the same. So I'm just doing like a nude color right here. I bought this, it's called Pour to Jours Matte from NARS. And I think this is going to be exactly what this color looks on Natasha, like this color is going to look like on me. It's much cooler. And it's matte. And it is kind of like concealer lips on me. So that's with a little bit cooler toned. I don't think I made it better. I actually think that I might have actually made it worse. Let's do a little bit of her gloss on here. There we go. That little bit of pink. I like that. I just needed a little bit more of a cool tone lip to make this mine. This looks like what Natasha looks like when she's wearing hers, and that's where your skin tone comes into play, and colors look different on different people's skin. It's the way of the world. I have loved Natasha, and she has brought so much joy into my life personally with makeup. She was like those first palettes, those big giant ones. I mean, when I got those, I felt like I had hit the mother lode. And then she came out with her Sunset palette, and the rest is history. I mean, she just really snowballed, and I am so happy that she is still an indie brand. She has not been sucked into one of those giant corporations, and I still feel like this is her baby, and she nurtures it, and she cares about it, and she's always one to be the creative and the creator, which is hard to be for both. That was a little setting spray from Hourglass. It's a favorite of mine, and I always like to finish up that way. And also, I'm curious, between the My Dream and the I Need a Nude, which team are you on? You on Team Dream or Team Nude? Well, I'm going to go find out what my golden retriever is getting hollered at about downstairs, and probably have to go clean up a big mess. So I am going to say thank you all for joining me today. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, and be made aware of when I'm uploading videos. I upload several times a week, but I do love the look. I think it's great. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all again very soon. Take care. Bye.